Hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having an awesome day. And today is time for the best makeup of 2020. Today I'm going to be doing the best makeup that came out in the year 2020 to say goodbye to it very easily, and because I think we're all ready for it to be over, honestly. And then we're also going to do a worst video. So I did do a video like 2 months ago on like the 5 worst products of 2020 at that point, but I want to expand it to a top 10 like worst products. So today I just have a whole bunch, not in any particular order or number, of these things that I really enjoyed for 2020. We're gonna speed through it, talk about some of my favorite things, and let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I feel like a lot of us are interested in what my favorite palettes are, so let's go ahead and get started with eyeshadow palettes, and then we'll progress on to other eye stuff and face stuff. So starting off strong with the eyeshadow palettes, the first one is one that I used so much. It's like 2019 I used the Tartelette and the Bloom to death, and I feel like this year I really used this one a lot, and I got it later than it originally came out and I still use it so much. And it's the Golden Coconuts palette from Colourpop. It is just a simple little neutral palette. They move around in the pans, like they're just magnetic pans, so they kind of move around in here. I could pop them back into place, but it's honestly just a simple neutral palette, but I've used it so much. When Cortland and I started dating, I put this in my makeup bag and kept it at his house for the longest time. And it's just something I've used constantly because I don't have to think about it when I use this palette. It's just constantly good. Like, I don't have to think about it. Easy, work with, works great, and it's small and travel friendly. So I've really enjoyed this palette this year. Next up, this may be my most used palette of this year. Maybe I should do like a whole video on my most used products of 2020. I'm not sure. But my most used palette of this year probably is going to be the Rust palette from Melt. Now, I got this about halfway through the year, and honestly, I can't put it down. It's what's on my eyes today, actually. And it's just something super subtle and simple, but I just love the tones in this palette. It's so good. So Melt is expensive, and they're a hit or a miss. They're an inconsistent brand. I want to do a video all about brands I can't trust because it's either horrible or fantastic, and Melt is one of them. But here's the inside of the Melt Rust palette. It's basic, but it has like a light matte shade. It has kind of like a yellowy tone. I really like this kind of mustard shade here. We only have 2 shimmers, but they're super simple whether you want to go towards more like the mustardy side or the more warm tones of this palette. And to me, this is just so versatile and beautiful. Also, I forgot to mention, I'll leave all these products linked down below for you, but like, it's my most used palette of 2020, and I don't see myself stopping using this very soon. It's just really good. Now, Sigma came out with a lot more palettes this year than they did last year by a ton, and I had a hard time picking what was the best one, because I think the Untamed is my favorite color scheme. It's more of the grungier tones, but my like favorite quality wise of the Sigma palettes that came out this year is the Corda Rosa palette. When this first came out, I was in love. It's really pretty rosy, beautiful packaging. I'm gonna take this brush out. Okay. And then here is the inside of the palette. It's very pinky warm, but there's a ton of golds as well as kind of orangey subtle shades in here. I love this shade right here, which is kind of like an orangey cream shade. And honestly, when this palette came out right after Enchanted, I was like, they really are changing that formula from Sigma, and it's a lot easier to work with their old one, which was still good. These are a little more of the buttery mattes, and the shimmers are so beautifully metallic. I love this shade right here too, which is the Corda Rosa shade, the namesake of the palette, and it's super creamy. So honestly, the Corda Rosa palette is my favorite Sigma palette of the year because of the quality being so good, but the Untamed one has a prettier grungy palette color scheme. This one though is just like spot on beautiful. My favorite high-end dupe, like affordable dupe of a product, is from Alter Ego this year, my favorite one. I do have an affiliate link and code Porcelain off Alter Ego if you want to save even more money off of it. But this Sahara palette is the one I chose for the year because I couldn't remember if Goddess came out last year or not. And then I thought about like how much I've been loving cool tones or like slightly warm, rusty kind of shades. So the Sahara palette, which is a dupe for Natasha Denona palette, this is just so easy to work with. I don't think there's too many shimmers in here. It's mostly matte. There's only 3 shimmers. And honestly, the 3 shimmers, I really just use this one. But I just think it's a really beautiful color scheme, and I can't afford Natasha Denona price, but I can afford this. I love the heavy magnetic packaging to Alter Ego stuff. Goddess is my favorite, but I know this one came out this year. That is Azriel's Tail, and I love it a lot. Okay, so my favorite Jeffree Star palette of the year, which I thought Cremated was so pretty, but some of the shades did kind of dust away on me. And then the Bloodlust one, the purple one, it was just so bulky, and I had several issues with that palette. So my favorite Jeffree Star palette of the year has to be Blood Money, the green one. Okay, I have a hard time opening this thing right. But honestly, I had no issues using this. I did a first impressions as well as a 3 looks video using this palette. I know Jeffree Star isn't for everyone, but for those who are maybe looking for like the end of the year sale to get a discount on some of his products if you want them, this is the best palette of his this year. And I love the greens. I could do with the bluey kind of shades in here, but the greens are lovely. All right, last palette is gonna be my favorite rainbow palette of the year. And this was really easy actually, even though I don't really use it because I don't really use array palettes like that. But it is something I'm like, this is great to have in my collection as like a resource if I ever need a certain type of color. And it is the Glamlite Cake palette. It is super cute. I ended up getting rid of the box it came in just because it looks like a cute little oven, but it's just bulky. So here is the inside of the cake palette. I love these shimmers from Glamlite. Glamlite has beautiful metallic shimmery shades. They go on so beautiful and they make your lid look foiled and wet, and I love them. And then the mattes in here are just super, super pigmented. And you can create tons of different looks with this, and they blend together so effortlessly. So for me, the best rainbow palette of the year is the cake one. So this was easy actually. All right, best eye stuff other than palettes, and we're finished with palettes. The best eyeliners I felt of the year are the ones from the Raw Beauty Kristi and Colourpop collaboration. Colourpop's eyeliners like these, the little gel liners, usually are like or they're terrible. But for me, the yellow one, the marigold one from the Raw Beauty Kristi was beautiful, way above Colourpop's normal quality for these liners, and I just thought it was a beautiful, beautiful choice. There's also a brown one from this collection as well, but of course I'm going to go for the more yellow one, but I just thought it was really good compared to Colourpop's normal quality. The only other eye thing I have for you is my like favorite lashes now, which are the Baddie B Lashes. You have to find a style that works for you. These are mink hair, which is not vegan, so if you were looking for a vegan product, these are not it. There's like this weird line that you can still be cruelty free, but it's because it's an animal product. It's vegan, but it's not vegan, but it can be cruelty. I don't know. But these are really, really pretty lashes. I'm wearing these Style Extra today. They're very cute, and I think they're a great option, but they're kind of expensive. All right, let's move on to face stuff, and then we'll end the video with lips. So for face stuff, my favorite contour palette of the year is gonna be the Charisma contour palette from Kaleidos. I just feel like normally I hit pan on like contour palettes a lot because I use them every single day, and when I find what I love, I'm not moving from anything else. And honestly, I can't put this one down. I just think it's a really good thing. This isn't too warm for me, which I was kind of concerned, like seeing it online that this was gonna be warm. Every day I just go in between these two shades with my contour brush, pick up both shades at once, and I use it. I never use the top shade for cleaning up under the contour. I never do that, but I could if I needed to, and these two shades honestly are great, and I haven't hit pan on it so far or made too much of a dent even though I'm using it constantly. So this is something I'm going to keep using into 2021. It is my favorite contour palette of the year pretty easily. Although the Perfector Face palette from Cover FX was just so good, but I hit pan on that really fast, and sometimes the shadows, like the blush and everything, fell out on me. So the Perfector Face palette from Cover FX, if you can get it online for something cheap, totally pick it up. But as far as like all-in-one, not breaking, not hitting pan, this is it for me. My favorite highlighter that came out in 2021 has to be this one from the Samantha March collaboration. It is the Start inspired highlighter. Of course, I love Glazed Donut and I love Pillow Talk. Those are my MVP like favorite highlighters ever, as well as Ice Cold from Jeffree Star. But as far as came out in 2020, this one did. It is a combination of Pillow Talk and I believe it's Star Island, the other like light icy one. I just feel like it's really, really pretty, and it's when I don't want something golden, I don't want something super pink, this just comes out kind of white on the skin and it looks really nice. So no complaints, it's really pretty. Favorite setting powder of the year? This is hard because I love setting powders. I love setting powders, and I think the Give Me Glow one, the sugar cookie one, is really pretty and fluffy, and I feel like the kimchi is a little more on the dry side, but you get a ton of product that's beautiful colors for the price. But something I found kind of different that I'm not usually used to is kind of a glowy powder. I don't use this on its own. I have to mix it with a normal setting powder. It's a matte finish. But the Jeffree Star translucent setting powder in the glowy luminous one, this one's in rose. This is really good. His regular setting powder has way too much of a fragrance. It's too finely milled. It flies up in the air. I hate these sifters on these things. Honestly, I hate them so much. I just leave it open. But I feel like this one has a lighter, more tolerable scent. You mix it with a normal setting powder, it really does make your face give a little bit more glow to it, and it looks really pretty. So I do enjoy this setting powder way more than his original one. All right, so my favorite foundation of the year, this was actually decently easy. I know I chose like random palettes and stuff, and then I did like a Rainbow palette and a Jeffree Star palette or whatever, but like honestly, one foundation came to mind as the best one of the year for me, and it's what I'm wearing today. And it is the Pretty Fresh foundation from Colourpop. This is so good, especially for the price. I just feel like it's a lovely foundation. I love the quality of it. It gives me a nice amount of coverage without making me too full coverage. It looks really full coverage today, honestly, it does. But if you're looking up close to my skin, like you can still see, like I have a little cat scratch right here. You can still see blemishes on my skin, and it looks really beautiful and it melts into the skin. It's got a great wear time. I did a full review of like a 9-hour wear test in the heat with this, and at the end of the day it still looked really nice. So this is a fantastic buy for the money. The only thing is, no matter what you do, the lid around here cracks a lot, but I don't care. It is just fantastic. I am in the shade Fair 20N. I'd buy this over and over again because it's so much better than any other high-end foundation that I've tried this year. Okay, now for concealers, I chose two and they're both drugstore. I just feel like they're great options, but they are, one's a little thicker and then one's a little more on the medium size. So I chose two. Again, I chose the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Concealer from Colourpop that matches that foundation. Great, it's more of a medium coverage. It looks very natural on the skin. And if you're looking for something more towards a Shape Tape hyped up end, I chose the, what's this, the Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer from Makeup Revolution. This has a giant doe foot in there, which I adore for a concealer. It's so big I can just go and be done. Honestly, this is an absolutely fantastic concealer. It is more towards the full coverage end. Can't talk today, but it's just great. And I use Shape Tape every day. I just this year tried the Power Play concealer from Cover FX, and I feel like those are really great. And the Cover FX one came out last year, so I'm not gonna mention it as my favorites for this year. But like, two concealers from the drugstore really knocked it out of the park this year, and I'm really impressed with those. Okay, time for the last category in today's video, and this is going to be lip products. Now, for lip pencils, this was super easy. I'm really enjoying this from their taupe collection, and it is the Colourpop lippy pencils, and this one is in Sow Happy, S-O-W Happy. I just feel like these new lippy pencils are super creamy. They are a little bit hard to screw up a little bit, you know, like sometimes it just gets stuck or you have to sharpen it. Yeah, you have to sharpen these. I just feel like you lose a lot of product when you do that. It's kind of hard to sharpen, but it's just so soft, great pigmentation, and you can blot it out with your fingers if you need to, but it'll stay for a pretty good amount of time for what you're paying for. I feel like it's a really great lip pencil option, especially since last year I never wore lip liner. But this year with the masks and everything, I have been just kind of putting a little bit of liner on, a tinted lip balm, and going through my day. So when I do finally take a mask off in the car or at home or something, I have a little bit of a mouth because naturally I just put foundation all over my lips out of habit, and then I have no mouth. So that's a great option for those days where you don't want to wear a full lipstick. As far as full lipsticks goes, I did choose one lipstick that I found really nice this year. It is from the Jen Loves Review and Ofra collaboration. She came out with 3 lip products. This one's my favorite shade. The 3 lip products are made to be mixed and make whatever kind of shade you want, but I love this one on its own. It is called Refine. It is just a beautiful kind of warm, it's warm, but it's not in your face. Here, I'll just swatch it. That'd be so much easier than describing what the color is. I don't know. I really just love this beautiful color because it's like a warmer tone, but it's a cool tone at the same time. It's just a great everyday color. Now, you cannot leave this in my house if I wear this out because it's gonna get all over your straw, it's gonna get all over your fork, so it's gonna get all over whatever you kiss. It does come off, but it's really, really comfortable. It's a great option too. So if you want something more comfortable, you're not worried about eating or anything, it's awesome. I love the color of that one. Out of the set, that's my favorite. Okay, so like I said, this year has been a lot of tinted lip balms, and I'm not really used to that until this year started, and we had a whole change of everything, didn't we? But I think my favorite tinted lip balm of the year is gonna be the Green Goddess one from Milani. For the price, you're getting a great deal. It's just a transforming lip balm, so it looks like a green, and then you can see around the ring right here, it has pink to it. So it just gives you a little bit of tint of pink to the lips. It smells good, it gives a little amount of hydration, and for the $8 price, you can't beat it. There's also a rose one as well, but I prefer the Green Goddess one. And then something newer that came out about a month ago, I really like, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in my favorites for the year, but it is more pricey. But honestly, because it's been so freaking dry, these have been saving my lips. And it is the lip serum, the Soft Lips Solid Serum from Pillow Lips Solid Serum from It Cosmetics. These come in a ton of different colors. You do get it messy around the thing, everything, but it just has this little button. You can press it to pump it up. You have to hold it upside down to get it to pump, I've experienced, which is a little bit irritating, but it gives you such good moisture, a little bit of gloss to your lips. Some nice color. It does not come out nearly as dark as it looks in the tube, but I like these a lot. Like, it's really, my lips are dry and I'm like, ooh, I don't want them to get chapped. I'll put this on and not have to worry about anything. So this is great. I loved a little bit of color it comes. They come in like 8 different shades or something. They're awesome. But anyways, you guys, that is my favorite products of 2020. I'd love to know your absolute favorite product down below. I think my absolute favorite product that I don't want to live without is the Pretty Fresh concealer. I mean, Pretty Fresh foundation. I really just love this foundation. I just think it's so nice for the price. But anyways, thank you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out with me in 2020. I'm really hoping that 2021 will be a much better year. And here's to that. Okay, bye guys.